Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Artistically Married, where art and opportunity collide. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman.
And Brianne Steinberg.
And today we have Tribe 369 with us.
All right, welcome to the show, guys.
All right, thank you.
This is amazing. This has been the fullest studio we've had yet. We're excited. We didn't think this was possible.
Yeah.
We're trying to squish bodies in. Awesome. So yeah, if you guys want to just give us a brief introduction of the band, you guys can introduce yourselves. We'd love to get your names and just tell us how you started.
Okay, well, I'll start. My name is Mark Chindemi. I'm the percussionist, a little bit of woodwind in the band. David and I have been playing together for quite some time. With the band name has changed a couple of times, but we came back to Tribe 369 because I think it captured the essence really of where we were going with the music itself. But yeah, I'm like a self-taught musician that just loves music, and I like the feel of this band in particular because we've kind of got that world vibe, folky, but now like a neo soul. A lot of room for creation and expansion, so it's been a good ride so far.
Awesome.
I'm Dave, guitar player. Mark gave a pretty good overview there, so that's what we're doing.
Awesome.
I'm Rockmaster Mateo. I'm the bass player of Tribe 369, and I haven't been here as long as any of these three, so I couldn't really give a better rundown than them, but that's my role.
Amazing.
And my name's Autumn Holmes. I'm the singer. And I've been with these guys for, I think, 2 years now. I've been singing with them. And I was a part of one of the band name changes and some of the other altercations of the band that have happened throughout the couple years. Myself, I've been singing for about 8 years with lessons. And I do all kinds of different styles. Classically trained. And I do theater. With them, I've expanded more to like a folk side of music. And I like playing around with those different techniques as well.
Amazing. What was the other options for the name?
Well, first it was the Divine Hippies, correct?
It started as the Divine Hippies, then it went to Tribe 369, then it went to the Vibe.
The Vibe.
And that's when Autumn joined.
That was when I joined.
And then it went back to Tribe 369, so.
Amazing. I like the Divine Hippies. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Was it attracting the wrong crowd?
No, it's just, I guess we evolved. One of the persons in the band had a slight objection to
Hippies?
one of the, not hippies, the other word.
The divinity.
okay.
Wow,
So we kind of formulated, and we were getting into a lot of the vibrational thing and frequency research, and tribe seemed like an encompassing word, so.
Yeah, like an all-inclusive. Yeah.
Tribe 369.
It's wild how, temperamental people can be with a name, right? It's such a big decision to like name yourself. We talk about it sometimes on the podcast, but obviously, our parents named us. So like when you have a child like this, when you have a creative child that you have to name, it's like such a big decision, right? We were going to get into later, but we can, since we're on the subject. Do you want to give us a little more information about Tribe 369 as a number, like you were talking about the frequency? Like I said before the episode, I was wanted to do more research, so enlighten me.
Okay, I'll tell you from what I understand. I think when we came up with this name, the reason that, like, the idea of Tribe 369 or 369 specifically came up was it's not only a frequency, it's an ancient code. And like I said, it's just kind of as deep as you want to go with it, but those are magical numbers, 3, 6, and 9 anyways. Again, I'm not going to go into detail about what that is, but the idea of 369 is an ancient code of prosperity and manifestation. It is something that exists on a much larger level than us. And I wanted to, I guess, suggest an imprint because I'm working with really creative, great people here. And I think when our intentions are pure, are powerful, are creative, are open, and that's the great thing about this band, it really opens up the waves for creation, discovery, manifestation. So even when we're thinking these things, creating these things, talking about these things, suggesting these things, we're working working in that magic. There's also another side to 369, as I later begin to understand, which is divinity, which is love. So when we look at those numbers, they also represent the greater parts of what love exists. And I in my life, I speak for myself, not the band, but like that's a big part of everything. I think, when we, whatever we're in, whatever we're around, when we love one another, when we love what we do, we are really putting forth a powerful energy. And I believe, as Nikola Tesla, talked about the power of 369, it came down to that, is that it's deeper, but it's imprinted based on our intentions. And to give people that are listening a better idea, you can create in 3, 6, and 9. So in that fashion, you can do 3 of this 6 times, and you can use those mathematics in whatever way. So when you want to bring these things into your life, you can use that code. And that's essentially what Tesla was tapping into and trying to explain to people, is that mathematics are our world, and that combination, those numbers. So I thought, what a great thing to put within us, because we're all artists, and really great people. And even though I haven't known Rock as long, and even Autumn, the integrity of this group of people it's there, and there's no ego. It's just a unity and a contribution where nobody feels as if they own anything. Because the way we look at it is, even when Dave writes a song or we write a song together, it's our song. We've really tried to make that big since the beginning. So I think, again, it falls into that 369, that concept.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You want to weigh in on your sacred geometry?
No, that is like,
I can see him being like,
premise. But for sure, yeah, it's like everything's frequency and vibration, and like those numbers come up in that a lot. And when you divide and multiply in that manner, like it's its own like secret code.
Well, how much can you add to that? But
Beautiful.
I'll just add the one thing that Tesla said. He said that when you understand 369, he didn't say the power of 369. He said when you understand the 369, you'll have the keys to the universe, or the key to the universe. Sorry. So whatever that means, right? Like, think about it.
So I try and integrate that into my drawings. So that one's like divided by 6, and that one's divided by 9, rather than
my
right?
No, there you
That's
like
really
Fibonacci
cool.
Yeah,
spirals.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I think, and you touched on 2 really important things, and I think it's kind of been ours as like interviewers, as hosts, to really bring forth and kind of highlight that. I think you touched on 2 things, which is love, and all art, I think, is created out of love. All music is created in love. So when you have that power and you bring people together in that way, I think it's so magical. And the other thing is that we're really getting from interviewing artists individually and as a group, is that they do really check their ego at the door. It's about the creation. It's about the love that's like being, made within a team of people. So I think that also brings in the tribe part, right? Which is, it's so powerful when you are creating community and love and checking your egos at the door. Because it's hard to do as an artist. You have this big feeling of like, I have this gift to give, So I think when you bring it together with other people, it's awesome. So yeah, I love the name. It's great.
Thanks.
Well, hang up
Kind of
the,
your definition of an artist, though, it could be, and a lot of times, different than that, in regards to checking your ego at the door and being a band that's about positivity. I don't know how common that is. I think it is the majority. Yeah. But there is some of those other bands that are.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. 100%.
Have gone down that other path, right?
Yeah, and I think that's why I say it is hard, because you do come in with all these pre-notions of like, you're trying to be your best self. You're trying to like, you're always trying to up your craft. So I think it is hard to like come into a band scenario and make it about your unified creation and about that love, instead of it being, you're like, I agree. Yeah. It's not like we haven't seen it. Maybe it's us too that we are also putting out the 369, that we're trying to attract people that are also just, trying to create in this way as well. So we avoid them. We avoid the ego.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like what we're trying to push externally about positivity, obviously internally too, we're going to do that same composition, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and when you can create it within a band, it just like comes out so much more strong when you're performing, or even just in practice. Like you are sending out all that energy. Even if there's no audience, it's within yourself. So I think, yeah, the building of that is so awesome. So you guys did touch a little bit, and I when we saw you guys for the first time, and even just listening to your new album, which we're going to talk about, I was just blown away by the sound. It is so unique. It's such like a different sound than you hear most genres. It's got its own thing. So can you guys talk to specifically the genre, what you define it as, and kind of what the different elements are that make it considered that genre?
What do you think, David? You want to handle that one?
I maybe touch on it a bit. Well, I don't think we're trying to copy something, to put it simply, other than having that free flow of creativity. Whatever our influences were in the past, it probably plays a big part in it too, individually. So obviously I went through all the classic rock music. I loved all those old bands from the 60s and 70s. But then from a guitar perspective, like Richie Haven with his free-flowing strumming. And then I like stuff like Lorena McKennitt with her Celtic, folksy world. That's world folk too.
Yeah.
So when you combine all that, like to me, that's powerful music.
Yeah, there's all of that music that you were just mentioned has a really strong, significant, or very focused on the openness of the music, right? It's not just, it's not so technical. It is a lot of like flair and finesse, I feel like. And that really does, I think, tap into like the definition of a world music, right? Is that it's a lot less, I don't know how to define the alternative, but I find that like when you're listening to the typical pop music, or you're listening to a top 40, they're so fixated on like what the structure is and what the technique is, and it feels like it has this alternative motive in it. It's like it's trying to get it out, it's trying to get it done, it's just trying to make money, bring people in or something.
It starts to get predictable.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, totally. And I think the curiosity involved in world music is just so powerful. So,
and is that because the corporations are getting involved and taking over, and then you factor in AI? Like you can plug in a song into AI, like Chat GPT, and it'll kick back at you. You need to do your chorus 3 more times. Like it tells you all the commercial parts of
what you did wrong.
Yeah, like to make it to hook somebody in the first 20 seconds, right?
Yeah.
They didn't do that 50 years ago or 30 years ago, right? It just happened naturally.
Yeah.
And it was more of like elemental, right? They're just like, oh, I was like, inspired by the mountains, and I made this piece of music. I was walking down a cliffside and this like music came to me. So I think it was more about just like the interpretation of the artist as opposed to trying to like please the audience, which is
so one is more creative than the commercialism, obviously.
Yeah, and I know we have this like big part of branding, and I think even if I always like am sensitive, or the word for it, but I feel like it's sometimes an artist comes in with a pure heart and a pure talent and all the right things, but we still have this like corporate side of music that like we can't deny. We're all a part of it. We all have to feed our families. We all have to, on top of our beautiful hobbies and our talents and our gifts, we still have to partake in this like system where it costs money to live, right? So I think even the most pure intention of artists, when they get involved in the commercial side, it can accidentally get like that. We've heard tons of artists say that, I signed this record deal, it was great, I thought I was going to get some support, and instead I got a whole list of directions, and
they shape you.
They're like, this is how you look, this is how you talk, this is what you say in between, this is what your hair looks like, and this is what your sound sounds like.
Like you'll never hear a song come out today where the chorus starts 2 minutes into the song. But there are songs like that in the past, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Or orchestras are like that too. It's a huge composition. It's 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
But now if you're not putting that chorus in the first 30 seconds, it's not on the radio.
Yeah.
You're not getting signed.
Yeah.
Right. But you know what? You make one song like that, and then the rest you can do.
You do what you want.
That's right.
Chumbawamba.
Exactly what Queen did too.
What?
Yeah.
Queen had the issues, and they wouldn't show their songs on the radio because they thought it was too long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then you end up getting like stifled, right, as an artist. So
Yeah. Well, I think all that music's still out there. You just have to dig. It's always in the underground. It's not necessarily going to be on the main stage, right?
And
Yeah,
I think
right.
too, we're coming to a point where like audiences are coming through like digital devices, so really they can dig and get whatever they want. Like there's obviously a downside, which we can talk about, how you're putting your music out there and how free it tends to be for artists. But I think it is, there is a great opportunity for people to like want what they want, like what they like, and there's great opportunity for an audience to like find music that's not as the like typical, the like top
But
40.
the thing is, when you start putting the music out there, like how many hundreds of thousands, or is it 1 million song uploads a day? So now the big new word is algorithm.
Yeah.
Right? How do you get your song to even come up on somebody's search? Right?
Yeah, because
So-
people are waiting to be like fed what they like, kind of thing.
Yeah, and the computer's figuring that out too, based on what you listen to, right? And then how do you get on that top portion of the algorithm? It's crazy.
Yeah, I know you can make yourself insane by trying to be like, how do we put it out? Where do we put it out? What do we say? What
That's
do we
when you
do?
hear a comment like, wow, this band is amazing. I never heard of them ever.
Yeah.
Like, how hidden was that band?
Yeah.
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 Now when you asked, I think kind of the original question too is like, classifying who we are, where we fit in what genre.
Yeah, sorry, we went way off topic.
It's all good.
It's all good.
That's
It's all
the
good.
podcast nature.
I think it's interesting because we've got like a neo-folk soul, which is essentially, I think, what we've, classified ourselves as. But, I always push the world music, but you don't want to be one. I think with the world music, you tend to fall into a category and there's an expectation. And what I like about it is that underneath, especially percussively and woodwind-wise, there's world music. I'm playing instruments that are not that they're that unique, but they're different sounds. It's an alternative style kit. And then you even look at some of the makeup of our songs and the feeling. So the feeling too of the music has that world, that journey element, which brings us to that spiritual kind of mystical place. So I really like that about the way our music sits in, and of course, the intentional of the music and what it's setting on. That's probably something you'd ask as well, like where that comes from, because I think we got to get to a point in our world where what message are you sending? And I don't think that that's a vulnerable question, as I think it's an important one, because music and art comes and goes, right? There's a reason that sometimes pop music happens, and I don't denounce any of it. It's all has its place, but I do also think, there are a lot of artists that bring a very different heart and art into what they do, and I think that's what we're doing here. I really do believe, and even working with some younger musicians, it doesn't change. It's like they have such a strong potential and gift within themselves, and I believe when that's harnessed in the best way, you know what I mean, it's safe for them too, because they're in an environment where they're not being pushed into anything. They got their whole life to experience that, but it's really good to work with other artists that are in fact younger in that regard, because we're also understanding their perspective. And that was a big thing, when we eventually looked at it, it's like, wow, like look at the dynamic of the band here. But it's just almost the comment that Dave made in the beginning. Does it really make a difference? Intergenerational is the world we live in. Mm-hmm. It really is. You know what I mean? And you could look at a band and go, wow, she's really young and everyone else is old. But why does it matter? Why does it matter in regards to the art and the talent? You know what I mean?
No.
It really doesn't. It's like we can.
Rock's an old man. He's an old man in a young man's
I'm not even
body.
speaking in regards to us. I just mean in general. Someone might look
general.
at a band and think that, and it's like, I don't know, when you've got the talent and you've got the intention.
Yeah.
Like we said at the beginning, I don't think the tape was rolling yet, but age in this band only matters on Friday nights if we're not playing. What you're doing and what I'm doing, it might be two different types of entertainment, or it might not be. Who knows? But when we go in the band room, or when we go on stage to perform, there is no age. We're all equal.
Totally.
I don't look, I'm 20 years older than you, so I don't respect you. Are you great? Like, not a chance. Like, because what she's producing and what Rock's producing is high level. as far as we're concerned, for how it works with our music, right?
Totally.
So
Yeah.
it's equal, 100%. It better even.
And
Who
for
knows? It could be, right?
Yeah, I was going to say for you guys, like I have been in lots of scenarios in my younger years where I was like, you know, desperate and then so grateful for mentorship. Like mentorship and coaching and having, you know, somebody that's willing to pour into you and let you like, you know, be on the same level, I think is so powerful. How do you guys feel, you know, being in a band with somebody who has, you know, experience, who has like, you know, more experience than you guys do?
Sure. I mean, definitely getting into this band, and I've been in it for a little bit now. I don't think quite the 1 year mark yet, but definitely a few good months. It's really improved me as a musician. It's improved my ear rather than playing things that already exist or trying to learn by what already is there. It's really helped me increase my creativity, where they would give me a product and they would need the space that I can provide, but it's not there in the first place. I have to come up with that.
Yeah, it's definitely different playing in a band than just learning songs and like doing cover songs. Yeah, getting to add the creative aspect is it's awesome.
And again,
So
I think you get that like guidance, right? Where they're like, okay, here's the capsule. This is what we need. This is the chords, you know, and then how are you going to add to this, right? And I think that's so beautiful. Them like, you know, creating this opportunity for you to like add yourself into it is so awesome. And trusting you. It's like a big deal for, you know, your elders to trust you.
It really is, yeah. Because whatever I would hear something, I would provide my feedback. It's not like, oh, I'm the youngest one of the group, so my opinion isn't as much as the more experienced people. They'll really like think about it, try it out, see if they like it or not. Yeah. It makes me just feel like we're all on the same level here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Age doesn't mean anything in this band. We're all on the same level. We're all just trying to create something beautiful together.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
and Autumn?
sure. I think as an artist, I've grown.
The only girl.
And the only girl. It's definitely helped me evolve as an artist. I think being on stage and performing, I had found myself a bit more in how I want to portray. On top of singing with them, I'm also a vocal teacher at the Niagara Institute of Music and Arts.
Fun.
Nice.
Very fun.
Amazing.
I love it so much. And something I always tell my students is, how do you want to be seen on stage? When you're singing on stage, what do you want the audience to get from it? And I think that performing with this band, I found what I want on stage. And I think that's just to spread the joy. And that's to spread that love that I found in music. And then practicing with them, it's an art, as we were saying earlier. It's that we're creating this love and we're creating an art form together. So it's not necessarily, I mean, obviously we are each an individual. But when we're performing our music, it's like we're one. And sometimes when I'm singing, I like to close my eyes and I can hear each of them playing, but it's together. And so while it's not necessarily age, I love the professionalism that comes with people who know what they want through music and people who can play their own music and find love with it, but then also make it one. And I think that's where I appreciate the differences in age, because I think that also has that professionalism and the skill, and also just to create our art form that we have.
Yeah, I love it. The unity, and I think like the leadership too, right? Like being involved with people that can lead you is like such a great way to like develop yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I wanted to just talk about, you kind of opened up the door, that was perfect, Autumn, just about how you hope that your music makes people feel. I want, when we were there, same thing. I think it was just, it's a very like vibey energy. I think like soul music with your vocals and funk music with you guys and the percussions that you're bringing to it is just so magical. I think I found myself doing the same thing. I was just closing my eyes and it was like transporting me into this like magic fairyland. There was fairies, there was moss growing down all the trees. Like it was just this like beautiful imagery. So I was hoping you guys could talk about, you know, what you're hoping people are experiencing, knowing that audience members are being transported like this, or being able to, it's beautiful. It's such beautiful music, but I was hoping you guys could explain from your side what you're hoping people get out of the experience.
Oh, okay. I'd love to answer that.
Yeah.
So I think what the audience feels, before I answer the question directly, is the authenticity and integrity, I think.
Yeah.
Because that is a big part of what this band is just you're playing in the moment. We're real, we're vulnerable. And I think when the audience members see us close our eyes and play, I'm not going to say it gives you permission, that's the wrong way to put it, but it allows people to kind of sit back, take a breath, think about their life, maybe feel the gratitude. And I think that's what's behind this. Is our hopes is this makes people not only feel better, because that's really hard to define what better is, but maybe safer, maybe inspired, maybe clear to reach the goals they want. The title of the album itself really, really explains it as "The World Is Waiting for You." That really made sense to me one day when we were practicing, because I thought, when a child is born and you look at that beautiful innocence, it's like you just imagine, wow, what are you going to create? What are you going to be? And, if we can not involve ourselves in a way where we're trying to control that organic way of growth and being is amazing. And each person, we truly believe, it's the way I look at it, has something amazing to offer this world. You may not get the award ceremony. Someone may not come up to you and say you changed my life, but you will. You will do that, and you have done that, and you'll continue to do that. And I believe that that's the fundamentals of living in humanity and unity.
It's empowerment too.
Yeah.
To say that the world is waiting for you, that's empowerment. But how many people are told that? Like the world is a structure that you need to fit in. That's what people are told.
Yeah.
Yeah. What job are you gonna get? You know?
Like,
how much money are you gonna make?
Well, there's even I don't know. There's commercials now where coming on TV about do this, do that, and you end up with the whatever. It kind of lays out this grid structure.
Yeah.
But that's really whether you fall into that, and everybody does at some point, but the world is waiting for you seems a bit more open-ended, right? If the world, it means you can do anything.
Yeah, I was thinking, I think the word that you're looking for is like invitational with the eyes closing, because I noticed that in my yoga classes. I am a very introspective. Like I want to, take that time and just like be in the moment. And I find that that's the easiest way for me to do it is to close my eyes. I can focus on my ears more. I mean, I think it's like a physiological thing that when you take away any one of your senses, you plug your ears, you can see better. When you close your eyes, you can hear better. So I think it's like an invitational experience for someone to see a practitioner close their eyes, because like you said, it's not a permission thing. It's like, you're kind of leading by example. It's invitational. Like, try this. See what it feels like when you close your eyes and see how that you interpret this music differently, right? So I think that's really exciting. And then the other thing I was thinking is I house 150 kids here every week, and that's the same. I'm going to use that line if you guys don't mind, because
sure.
I think that's really what I'm trying to tell them every day when they step into that classroom is like, everyone's waiting, we're watching, we're so excited for you. Everything that you can give us, we're open to, and we're here for you. And the parents are so, like watching your child. I think you're right. When you see a baby with the potential, and then you watch your child grow up, and whether that's like a piece of art or whether that's a physical, actual human being, I think the world around you is always waiting in awe of like everything you do, every facial expression, every movement that a human makes is like so magical. It's so good. Special, right? So yeah, I think that's great. Do you guys want to weigh in?
I feel like you guys covered a lot.
Yeah. They're like, no, we're good. I think it's... Yeah, go ahead.
It's quite a bit covered. I don't know how I'd add to that.
That's why Mark's sitting in the first seat.
Totally. I mean, I can say something that I've gotten directly from audience members.
Perfect, okay.
Mostly being my family.
And, of course. They're waiting.
They're waiting, like our one song.
Yeah.
But it's fun. That's what my mom always says. She says, I don't even know how to classify your band except for saying that it's fun.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, you listen to it and there's so much going on.
So much going on.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take you down this one path how you were saying pop singers were doing, where it's very similar. They have that same repeated structure, but you don't know what to expect on the album. And so when I tell people, I say, listen, I'll recommend a song, but all the songs are different.
Yeah.
And it's because it's fun.
And that really is hard to do. Like, when I was listening to the album, I was like, every song is just so different from the next, which is, I think, is like, maybe it's like my dancing background, right? That I just want to be inspired to move in different ways on every single song. So for me, it was amazing. And it's fun when you listen to an album and you can go back to the top and just keep going back again, right? It doesn't get old, which is awesome. I think you also touched on like the authenticity of it and the genuine nature of the album and of you guys as a band. But I think also there is this like technicality part that is undeniable. We go to these recording processes so that we can make pitch perfect. We go to these like recording instruments so that we can make sure that the tempos are perfect. And you guys are just so musically talented. Like, it's incredible because you're just dead on every time. There's no mistakes. It's wild. It's wild because you don't have to like worry about that part. You know, there's times where you go see a live band, and again, of course, we're all forgiving as an audience. We wish we could do that. But when you get a band that's that technical and looking for that precision, I think it comes through, right? Is because you know that in your practices, that's what you guys are focusing on, that you're nailing it every time. So I think that just becomes like it's going on in the background, but as an audience listener, we're not listening for perfection, but when it just stumbles upon us, we're like, oh my gosh, like, wow. It was just dead on every song, every melody, every chord. So yeah. I think that also comes into play, whether you are trying to do that or not. You're just so talented together that it's amazing.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So great. Okay, so we started talking about the new album a little bit. I would love to talk about so the album came out in November. It's called The World Is Waiting. Do you guys want to just walk us through kind of your writing process? You could go specifically with the album, or you could just talk in general about, you know, who brings what to the table at what time kind of thing.
Okay, well, you know what's happened. I'll speak again. What I think
nobody wants to give away the secret.
Secret sauce? Yeah. Magic. I'm sure it happens differently every time, which is exciting.
We use crystals. No.
Yeah.
Seriously though, you know, David. I'll speak for him at this point and say that he's been a huge inspiration. He's a really, really not just a talented guitar player. He's a really good person, but a really good lyricist. And I think it's the way he writes. It's the integrity behind it. It's the intention behind it. It's hard not to want to make it great. So a lot of times he's come with song ideas, concepts, riffs, and it really, I think it just opens up the creativity almost immediately, because he's never situating it in a place where you should play this and you should play this and you should play that. That doesn't happen. Inevitably, we might come to a spot of, why don't you try a little bit more of this? But all in all, we all have our own creative input that comes into it. So a lot of times, you know, I think a lot of times he'll come with something that's either been written from the past or something he's put together really quickly, whether it's a riff or some lyrics. And it's not hard for us to bite right into. And, you know, it's amazing the way that process works, because I don't know if he even sees it like that, because he's pretty humble when it comes to those moments. But at the same time, just to see the way everybody else bites into it quickly, like Autumn, right away, boom, Autumn's singing something, right? And like Rock, you don't even have to. There's no direction. Like, he just gets it. He locks in every time, you know. And I'm glad to see now, more than ever, he's really unleashing the gift that he has within him. Because I know when he started, like most people, you kind of just sit there and you're just trying to please. You're trying to, especially when you walk in and recording is your reality, right? But I can see now with some of the new songs that we're creating, and even, you know, practicing the songs we've done, you can just see the way we all approach it. But there's a unity regardless. You forget, right?
Rock has gone beyond trying to please the rest of the band. Now he's trying to please himself.
Yeah.
Which is a higher bar.
100%.
He went to the 5-string bass now. He had an extra string.
Of course. 4's not enough.
No, 4's not enough for me. I always set my own standards a little higher than everybody else would set it for me. And, you know what they say, you're always your worst critic, right?
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we talk to artists all the time, and that's definitely a resounding, they just keep, and that keeps you at it, right? That keeps you honest and keeps you practicing. So I think it's great.
Yeah, and we strive to be better than our previous self, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so is there like a typical role when you're songwriting, or do you all come at it kind of from different angles?
I would say different angles. I mean, I'd love to use the example of Café d'Amour. I think that one for me is a bit of almost humor of how it came together. Dave, I believe, came and he goes, I got a little riff, and he starts doom, 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 doom. And then I go, guys, wouldn't it be funny if I wrote a French song? And he goes, do it. So,
well, it is bilingual, right?
Yeah,
this country.
Love it.
I know.
Yeah.
So he goes, do it. And then he said, maybe we'll perform it in Ottawa. Like, he's already thinking big.
Put a little dream around it.
So he's playing the riff.
I said
and
Montreal.
Then, oh, Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal.
And then we just kind of added a little bit of a beat to it, and it started a little bossa nova. And I go, this is fun. Like, what if we did like a jazzy kind of French song? It'd be very different. And then Rock came and just watched what he was doing on the guitar, got the chords, and started doing his bass chords and a 5-string jazz bass. And then I didn't have lyrics for it, so I would mumble sing in French.
We didn't know what she was.
And they didn't know.
We didn't know.
So I was
Sounded right.
I was singing just with a French accent,
Great.
just mumble singing. I'm just singing randomly. Then we had to perform it. So I sat down and I wrote all the lyrics in French, and then we practiced it, and then I think 2 days later we performed it. And I had the lyrics on the ground because I had just written it.
Amazing.
But that's one example of a song that it almost like pieces together like a puzzle. And other examples of songwriting, Dave will come and say, either I have lyrics, and then he'll play something, and sometimes he doesn't even want me to hear the vocals that they've had previously. And I'll just start singing a vocal line.
Yeah, I have an idea for a melody, but I want to hear your interpretation first. Here's the words.
Yep. And sometimes
you
after
sing it the way you want to sing
exactly.
it. Yeah.
And so sometimes after he'll just go, wow. And that's all he'll say. He goes, I'm not even going to show you the original. And then then there's other times where he'll have a melody and he'll give me like almost like a draft of the melodies, and we'll
like I won't bring in extremely rare to ever bring a full song. Why would I ever bring a full song? Like I'll bring
That's their job.
well, especially I'll bring one verse.
Yeah.
Or maybe half the chorus, or whatever. Maybe just the chorus, and not here's 4 verses and this is the arrangement, and why would you do that? You're in a band with other creative people, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's an open slate creative process for everybody, right?
But songwriting is, all of our songs have come together differently, if I have to be honest. I think they've all come together very differently, but the end result is always the same. And that's a great song.
Yeah, it's always so polished, but I think you guys have such diverse interests, if I had to guess, right? You have such like eclectic listening, so it ends up the sky's the limit, right? You don't have to pick like a specific sound. It's like, let's make this like this, let's make this like this, let's take in this. And then I think also, Mark, the amount, I know you're saying, it's nothing crazy, but the amount that you bring to a piece of music with the diversity of so much percussion, I think is so awesome too. Like that really can change the sound of a song, is having different percussive instruments, right? So
not just percussive, but flute.
Oh, right.
Didge. There's that Rav,
the handpan.
the handpan. Yeah.
We kind of grazed over it, but you had mentioned at the beginning that you are independently trained.
Yeah.
You didn't take lessons.
No, I didn't. I shouldn't say that. I mean, I took like regular kit drum lessons for a week. But
for a week?
No, I did, and I intended to go more. I don't really give up on things. Yeah, but this is what happened. 1 week,
okay.
And then the gentleman that was my teacher, if you could even call him that, he said he just said something to me. No, in all seriousness, he said something to me because I couldn't decide whether I wanted to be left or right. Okay. I can play both ways.
Right.
And he got frustrated with me, and he's like, "Listen, look on that wall." You know what I mean? You see those golden records up there? He goes, no left-handed drummers. It doesn't work that way. And I was like, I don't understand what you're trying to say. Like, what if someone's left-handed? Anyways, it got me I got upset. Like, wow, I don't even know if I want to play drums anymore. So anyways, I pulled away. Just started playing with friends, started listening to music, just trying to learn beats. And then eventually, to me, my methodology is watching masters, watching people who are really skilled play, watching their movement, their vibration, their personality, their presence, listening to world music as to like, what do I feel as a whole when I listen to music from the Middle East, whatever country I'm talking about, or when West African music, like what is the feel? And that's what I do. I tap into that. And I really believe in the world we live in, we can tap into that kind of stuff very easily because time isn't linear, right? I mean, we're constantly being taken and spun and moved and inspired by different things. So percussion spoke to me because it allows me to just be. And sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. And I honestly, like, I know what I'm doing when we're recording, when we're playing, but what I'm saying is that sometimes things take over me. It's just like dance, where I could sit there and tell you and try to justify it, but then it gets weird for people, the conversation. Yeah. It's because it really takes over me. I really love it. And to me, that's why I want to, exhibit as many instruments around the world as I can, because they're all so amazing. Yeah. So when I hear... bring us back to our original question. When I hear, what's been presented to me or ensemble. The essence, my mind is just going in so many different directions of like, like the kabasa or the udu or right, like some sort of instrument. And then it's all just trial and error. And they're pretty forgiving with me too, because I'll start off with a lot and then I'll scale it down a little bit, thinking I can.
And if I can just add just a tiny thing. Don't think, this band doesn't have drums. This band it doesn't have a drum set. This band just, a percussion guy with a little bongo. Whatever, no. Right? Are you kidding?
No.
On a drum, okay, so with the Divine Hippies, I played the drums.
Okay.
Well, I've always played guitar, but I was playing the drum. I put the drums away.
Oh. Because
what Mark brings on percussion and what he can set up, you can't do with a drum set.
No.
We have more bottom end. We have different range octaves of drum instruments. It's way better than a drum set, and that's my opinion, but
it makes it more organic as well.
And organic sound.
Definitely.
And it's your hands.
Yeah, there's a lot of indigenous sound in it I think it makes it. I think it's fun that it starts from curiosity. That's so great. And I think it's really interesting how much you seem to be trying to tap into like that love and frequency and energy, because the rhythm, I mean, originally as humans, it comes from our heartbeat, right? We can feel it in our bodies, and it's always there. It's that like centering force. So I think when you come into a band and you become that like heartbeat, you become that like center, that percussion, the rhythm part. I think it's so much easier to convey all those messages, right?
Yeah,
you're bringing
that's what brought us into this world, the heartbeat.
Right, yeah.
Right? That's really good that you said that. I really do love it. And, I like being a part of this band, but what I also enjoy too is also having, the opportunity to write lyrics, to sing, to not just focus on the percussion, and I love it.
And most bands limit the percussion guy.
Yeah.
Just come in on this part. We never say that to Mark, right?
Yeah. You're like, bring it.
Yeah. Bring it. Yeah. Whatever. That's the thing with the band is what do you want to take on? What do you want to be a part of, right? There's no one formula that, is set in place for anybody here. It's always like, bring a riff. Next band practice, bring a riff. Like, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? And even if it's just like Autumn saying, like, I'm thinking like maybe something reggae or jazzy, right? Like, that still works, right, in the creative process. It takes us in a different direction. And I think at this point, heading into our second album, that's what we like, is like, what are you guys vibing? What are we vibing? What are we feeling? And we're also trying to look at the moment too, right? We're not trying to pull from the past. We're trying to also center ourselves in the present. Yeah. What are people feeling? What is going on? Because, I mean, that's a conversation in itself, right? Of the state of the world, or what we think the state of the world is. Yeah. And that's another big part of coming back. The music is to make people love life again. And I know people love life. I'm not trying to say we're some sort of a savior. It's just to remind them that life is beautiful, and we are lucky, and we are fortunate, and we lose sight of that. when we compare ourselves or feel like somebody has it better or it's better over there, or I think we need to focus on, what we have and being really, really happy and proud of the opportunities we do have. We can sit in this basement, have this podcast. We don't have bombs going off. And I mean this seriously. We're not worried about that.
Yeah.
We can go outside. You can just express yourself. No one's going to, tell you like you can't talk because you're a woman or whatever the case. Like, we have a lot of freedom here. And as artists, I think that is really the greatest gift of all, is you get to be not only vulnerable on stage and writing, but you get to creatively express what's happening. You know what I mean? And this is not so much your solution, but, a suggestion or perspective. And that, again, goes back to hopefully the audience, when they do hear these things or read the lyrics and go like, whoa, what do I think of that? Or, and I think that's it. Thought-provoking and emotion-provoking. That's a big essence of what the music is, to take you on those places, into yourself, to hopefully recover the light in the greatness that's in it. And that's always been my intention, 100%, when we go up and play, is to just make people feel great, because I feel great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not just saying, I really do feel great playing this music. I'm happy. I'm never dissatisfied with the songs we put out, because again, we have a hand in it, and that says something for this group, is that there is a lot of care and compassion, and those are practices of my everyday life. So it's good that it carries over in this process, and it's not some side process where like we're a little bit rough with one another and make people feel uncomfortable. It's not that. It's a carryover. Like we're both parents, right?
When you get somebody in a group, because we've been in bands for a while, and you get somebody that starts to call all the shots and make all the decisions and that, and we had one singer who came up with a brilliant line, and I still follow it today. He goes, wait a sec, have you charted? You know what I mean? Charted, like done something where you're got on the charts.
Got on the charts?
Yeah. So like, no, nobody's charted. Nobody's been in the top 10. So what makes you the authority, right?
Right.
If you're Frank Zappa and you've created a band, well, you're Frank Zappa.
Yeah.
Or Bruce Springsteen or whoever, but we're not that. We're a band.
Yeah.
Right?
I think too, just like as a person being in a leadership role, and now I have like staff that I'm, and we do it as parents, and we do it as friends, and we do it as a band. But I think really just bringing in where you are. You brought up a good point, like bringing in where you are in the present. It's not about trying to be on top or any pecking order. I think it really is just about the collective. I'm curious about you guys coming in. I mean, you guys I'm sure your 9 to 5s look different. When you come into your band practice, and you are bringing with you whatever the day held, right? And that's a lot of our creative energy, right? Is that like, oh, I was thinking about this today, and now I want to put it in song form. Or like, this inspired me, and now I want to write a song about it. I'm curious. Again, it kind of goes back to the experience, but I'm wondering for you guys, I mean, you're so young to be able to come to a collective where you're able to celebrate your present scenarios or your present moments of what you're going through on a daily basis. How does that feel for you guys?
Great question, really. Because there is that difference of during the day between, like, Mark and Dave will have a different day between Autumn and I. Well, here, I'll have even a different day than Autumn. And we're not even that far apart in age. It's just that coming together, really. You almost step back from what you were because you're not in that day anymore. You can do whatever you do in that day, interact the way you do. But it seems that when we step into that collective space, whether it be that practice room or up on stage at a gig, when we step together, it just seems that all of that goes right out the window. We all just work as one collective to produce the sound we know how. And it's really amazing how that works. I've never seen it work in such a way before, but now being in this band, seeing how I can physically just step away from what happened during the day and be on the same level as a bunch of other people who are like-minded, it's really just a beautiful thing.
It's awesome.
I think I'm very involved with my music. I do this band. I'm also a part of a singer of a choir and a jazz band, and I'm always singing. And when I'm singing, that's what I'm doing in that moment, because that's such a big part for me. And when I'm playing with this band, when I'm playing with these guys, that's what I'm doing in that moment. And so I once had a lesson, it was actually a guitar lesson, and I got really emotional during it. Something had happened previously. And my teacher had told me, whatever happened, leave it out there. Because that's out there right now, and you're in this room, and in this room, you're playing music. And out there, that's your worries for later. But right now, focus on this. And I believe I've taken that mentality a little bit. When I'm focusing on something, this is what I'm focusing on. If I have worry or stress, I can worry about that later. Even at my my other job, I could stress about it, or I could not stress about it. Either way, the outcome's going to be the same. And so leaving that at the door, let's worry about that later. And then taking my music and then going back to how the rest of my day went, I'd say that would be kind of how I would almost manage the outside and the music world.
Interesting, yeah. It's like a separate process.
Yeah.
See, and this is how professionals conduct themselves.
Yeah. No, it's true.
They focus on the task.
It's true. In my mind, I'm like, bring your rage and anger and write about it. And you're like, no, it's too,
So,
this is my professional,
When you posed the question before about the age difference, but there's two directions to look at that from. So now think of me and Mark if we're not working with people that are, I don't even know, and I don't even want to say like Pokemon or something. Like they have different, you know what I mean? Like they're in it with us. Like they understand
the
that
maturity level.
Yeah. We're concentrating on that.
Yeah, especially the music maturity. Yeah, that's amazing. Because you can. I mean, you guys are amazing. You can find kids your age, I'm sure, that are don't have the same focus.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sure your peers are just wowing you every day. You ready to graduate yet?
Oh, I am very shortly, yeah.
Yeah, to move on to something else. I think we're ready for a break.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll take a break, and we'll be back talking to Tribe 369. It's been amazing so far. We're going to leave you with some music. What's the first song we're going to do? Do we have songs picked?
Yeah.
All right.
Café d'Amour. I mean, that was what we talked about.
You want to open up with that?
It's a good opener.
All right.
Yeah?
Sure.
Let's do that.
All right.
We'll be back.
De la place plus pleine d'amour, plus que Paris, mais je viens à imposer possible. Car je chanterai ce soir ici, plein de fleurs et de café, mais autour je ne vois pas l'huile et les coupes à manger. Je chanterai les cafés noirs et les baguettes. Je tombe en amour pour le café de l'amour. Je viens encore de penser de la place plus pleine d'amour, plus que Paris, mais je viens à imposer possible. Car je chanterai ce soir ici, plein de fleurs et de café, mais autour je ne vois pas l'huile et les couples manger. Je chanterai les cafés noirs et les baguettes. Je tombe en amour pour le café de l'amour. Je chante ce soir et je ne pleure pas dans le miroir. Le café de l'amour, les mots sont sur le mur, car je chanterai ce soir ici, plein de fleurs et de café, le café de l'amour, le café de l'amour, le café de l'amour.
All right, we are back talking to the incredible Tribe 369. Yeah, this has been awesome so far. Thank you guys for joining us on the show. Hope you're having fun.
Great to be here.
We are.
I always ask our guests, but I forgot to ask you, have you guys done a podcast yet?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. I feel like
I like it.
you're meant for podcasting.
Pat Porter.
Oh,
there you go.
right.
Oh.
Great guy.
He's my podcasting father.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe it.
So I went on a podcast with him. Well, how long's our podcast been on? A year and a bit?
Yeah.
It's almost 2
year and a
years.
half, so.
Yeah, but I think it was 2 years ago. He invited me on as like for my dance studio. He's like, I want to interview you. We'll talk about your dance studio. I'm like, great. So I went in, and literally after the first episode, he was just like, you're made for this. Like, you should do this. And in my head, I was laughing. I was like going back to, did you guys have those like, it was like a one-piece cassette tape and the microphone was attached to it?
No,
You
we
could
were
hit
there
record?
like 3-4 months ago. He's got all the high-tech stuff now.
No, I was saying like as us as kids, you know,
Oh.
where we had those little microphones and you could record
yeah.
yourself.
Yes.
And
yes.
then you'd wait for the radio to play a song, and then you put the song. Like, I literally did that. I like made my own radio show when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I'd walk around and like make my own radio show. So, yeah. Pat was like, "Oh, you're meant to do this." So I was on the Pat Porter show for 6 months, and then we decided we wanted to make our own because I just wanted to interview mostly just artists. Yeah. So yeah, it was fun. You guys are on like a podcast streak.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I like it. I kind of
Yeah.
like it because it gives us a chance for people to get to know who we are and what we're
Totally.
about. But sometimes you don't know. Even if you go see a band, you really don't always know, right? So if someone is looking for a certain kind of music or whatever, and it's nice. It's nice to talk to because we put a lot of thought into the music we make too. And not saying that other artists don't. Of course they do, but we put a lot of passion and artistry into it, and it's nice. It's nice to share that with people, and
I think you guys
extend.
have a lot of like inspiration too behind your music, which is exciting. It's nice to hear. I mean, I know, we're not putting anyone else down. It's just music comes from different places for people, right? So when it comes from like a huge passion in some of these other, like you said, like the mystics and the spirituality and the frequency and vibration thoughts, it's exciting. Those kind of sometimes need to have like an educational background. Like they need to have some explanation, right? Sometimes you have to explain it so that people really understand like what they're listening to and what to listen for.
Sure.
So yeah, we were talking off air, but yeah, do you guys want to tell us your meeting story?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want me to start or you want to?
Yeah, okay. Well, the meeting, so I was in it. We had that, like we had met. I don't know if we mentioned it on the podcast or before we hit record, but we're called the Divine Hippies, right?
Yeah.
And so I was working with the singer one afternoon, just brainstorming some ideas, and he suggested, let's go have a bite to eat. So we're near Grimsby, so we rolled into Grimsby, and they got a bunch of little diners there along the main street. And so just to give a quick backdrop on it, the guy's name was Jerry G. He's a real cool guy, great singer. And he had just recently married an Indian lady. So he had started learning about all this finding a better way and the Buddha thing and, the light and all this stuff. So this was permeating into our... This could even have been kind of... For me, it was the start of, like, music can be this enlightenment thing, not just this emotional music, charging stampede of drums or whatever.
Yeah.
So we had that mindset of this better way. We're going to make music to help everything, help the world, but not wimpy music, like strong music still, but not metal music. So anyway, we're going to get a bite to eat, and we're walking down Main Street there in Grimsby, and there was a what's it called, a clapboard?
Like an A-frame sign.
An A-frame sign on the sidewalk, written in chalk, and it said, "Turn your face to the sun, and the shadows will fall behind you."
Oh,
And it's
I
who
love
quoted that?
that.
It's a Maori
Maori quote.
from New Zealand.
So
Oh, the Maori
we're
people.
walking-
I spent a lot of time studying Maori and pygmies.
Yeah. So turn your face to the sun, and the shadows fall behind you, which means go into the light and don't worry about the darkness. Leave
Yeah.
it behind. Move beyond it, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, Jerry, look at this. Look at this sign. Because this was like what we were into at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
evolving into.
Yeah.
And we looked up to see the business, and it said the White Rhino. And that is another mystical thing. Mark can probably laugh. I didn't even know what that was, but it was crafts and music. And so we said, oh my God, let's walk in here.
Yeah.
So we walk in there, and Mark is sitting in there playing this little instrument all by
Like a
himself.
tongue drum or something. I think it was one of the tongue
Some
drums.
little instrument playing this weird thing. We walked in, we said we're in a band, we met him, and you play percussion. He told us you played percussion. Next thing you know, we're lining up for him to come out to a session. And that was the start of it. If we didn't walk into that store,
Oh, wow.
we wouldn't have been here. We wouldn't have been here today.
So crazy.
It's crazy the way that
Wait, are you from
intersectionality works.
Grimsby?
Well, my wife and I lived there.
Yeah.
So I met her, and she was living in Grimsby. We were living there, and yeah, like we both kind of just wanted to open up like an artsy spiritual shop. So we called it White Rhino Gifts. 'Cause
Oh, it was your store.
yeah, she likes white rhinos, right? And we just tried to think like what's something clever. So I drew up this picture for her one time because I'm an artist as well, and she's like, let's use that on the sign. And it all came together, and this basically the store was just selling anything from crystals to henna to instrumentation to like arts and crafts, things that come from different parts of the world. It was just an experience to take people out of their life and maybe find another way. And so like I began to learn a lot about more crystals and stuff like that. Well, anyways, it's amazing because I would put this A-frame sign out every day, and I would change it up. Every day I would go out there and I would write a new quote. So I just like read up on quotes and write it down. And, you know, so many people would come in and be like, I can't even believe like what that means. Like, I just want to tell you. And this one lady, she must have been in her 90s. She came in the store one day and she's like, I just want you to know, I so much appreciate that you're doing this. I come by and I read it every time. And I love how you're changing it up. And yeah, so it was a really interesting thing. And that was me living my passion, right? Because I never thought I'd own a store, run a store or anything. But then more I thought about it, it's like I'm really good with people. And again, I had to educate myself on crystals. Like that was a whole journey in itself to understand that one.
Yeah.
Oh, holy
Yeah,
smokes.
there's
Like,
so
because
much
I kind of sat there and I'm like,
magic.
well, I guess I got to know something if we're going to sell these. So here I am, with all
And it's
these
vibration.
devices.
Yeah, all the vibration stuff. We actually, you should check it out. We have a whole podcast on how frequency heals.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's so powerful. It's so wild too that like the education just brings it to so much fruition. I always thought it was interesting that I'd be like, oh, well, we should just feel it, right? It shouldn't be something that needs to be taught. Like if it's something that's happening all around us, like why do I have to like read about it or like educate myself in it? But I think it is really just like bringing it to your awareness, right?
Yeah, your awareness. Yeah.
That you're just like, okay, yeah. Oh, and then a lot of times it'll be like, it'll line up. Be like, yeah, you know what? When I do, so I have a few stories that we walked into crystal stores and I fainted. I just couldn't handle it. There's so much like, and it just depends if you're open to it or not. And that I think was even before, I got to an age where I was actually reading a bunch and like educating myself onto like other people's experimentation, because there's a lot of clinical practices where people are using and discovering, and it's sad that we don't have it as much in our society and as much in North America specifically. If you go in other places of the world, it's practiced. It's common belief. It's like the way their medical practices are, right? Yeah. So I think it was, it was before I had kind of even traveled or learned about all these things. But yeah, just walking into a couple crystal stores and flat out on the floor.
Wow.
Just so much intense feelings that it's a lot of like, it's too much energy. It was too much energy and too much distraction all in one place. And really, if you go to places where, I always use Guelph as an example. It's built on like a huge, what's the pink?
Quartz?
Quartz. It's a huge quartz. Huge quartz mine. And there's like the highest place in the city is like a big church on top of it. Same thing. Every time I would walk up those stairs, boom, flat on my back.
Ooh,
just so much power and energy there. But I think in nature, when you do experience these things, it's either in a mine, right? Where you're just
Sure.
stumbling upon like a mine that has all these like magical crystals in them, or they're spread out. It's not like they're stashed all in one place. So just the amount of like energy and power. And again, it was before I was even aware of like, people's hypothesis on like these type of things. So yeah, it's really interesting.
It's like you train your mind, or you attune your mind to that energy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like what they say, it can't be, I can't unsee it now. It's like when you learn something, or now you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
So now you've opened that frequency in your conscious.
Right.
So when you come near it, you know it.
Yeah. Your body
it's there
recognizes
doing
it.
Yeah, it's doing its thing, but somebody else can walk there and it's nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's not entering them, right? I think that's the way it works.
Yeah. And just being so like susceptible. I think some people are more like susceptible. That's why we talk about practitioners, right? And people being like just more attuned to it and more of like easier. It just comes to them easier. They're more open. So I think that really is exciting that you can take the educational part and hone your skills the same way you do as like a musician. It's a different kind of art.
One of our taglines, and if you go like on our website about, and where it has our name, music with meaning and the frequency of healing.
I love
That's
that.
We still have that tagline.
So good. Do you still have the store?
No,
Okay.
we just the reality of cost of rent, right? It's kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
unfortunate. In saying that though, I'm always a big fan of realizing life is about change too, and
Yep.
it's one thing
Seasons.
within the last, I'd say like 5 years of my life, I've just welcomed it. I've said like, why do I feel so compelled to just have this? You went to school for this is what you're going to do. Yeah, that is right. But it doesn't necessarily for everybody mean until you retire.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't always have to go that way. So we had the store, we did what we did. We even moved across the street and then made it like an art center for my wife.
Oh, amazing.
But we still brought some of the spirituality and crystals because people really loved it.
Yeah.
But even then we reached a point where it's like, okay, like let's just move on. Like my wife now teaches at our home. We have an art studio there. So she's never stopped doing what she's doing. And I've just changed my path because, that was a interesting point in my life where you're literally dealing with customers and people are looking to you for crystal knowledge and like something I never thought, honestly, in a million years that I would do. But again, like it's something I always connected with, spirituality in general, and it's fascinating. So, and then again, brings us back to the initial conversation, is that when we live in our passion, when we live in our truths, we come across and meet people that can take our lives in an even different direction and sometimes for the best. So
People that are operating in that same frequency.
Yeah, you're just like
That's what it
magnet
is.
to each other.
There it is. And like I would have never
Yeah.
thought that, because that very day they're like, yeah, why won't you come here and meet us, and we can rehearse over some songs. My wife's like, you don't even know these guys. And I'm like, and I remember saying to her, it's like, yeah, but there's something different. If you met
Destiny.
them, if you
Yeah.
knew, these guys are good, man.
Totally.
It's good. And yeah, and here we are now. David and I really stuck together because what we did notice is David and I are very similar in, the way we look at music and, our impression of how you could really create solutions. You know what I mean? Rather than just complaining about heartache, heartbreak, and the politics of life, we take the other side about the loving, the prayer, the connection, the unity, the traveling, the world, everything, all the beautiful things of life. So it's not that we're trying to pretend that there's no, darkness or there's no difficulty. Of course there is, but I think we've all heard enough songs and read enough books to know, like, okay, like we know about trauma.
Just turn on the news.
Exactly. And,
Yeah, like we don't want to
be
be
our norm.
Force fed.
Yeah. Like we're not going to make music celebrating evil.
Right.
But it doesn't mean we're going to ignore it either, but we'll paint you that picture, but a way out of it. That's what the overarching objective is, to create that journey to better things, right?
I think it's I think we've gotten to a point in time where we're all so hyper aware of like the like fear factor. We talked about it, like fear mongering, but I also think it's just like shock value, you know, when people are
That's
writing.
what it's become too. Polarization.
Yes,
and that's
they're
another
just
thing,
trying
like,
to shock people, and I think what you're talking about, this healing energy, is like what people need. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of like introspective energy that takes a lot of time to practice. It's so easy to get into this state of like, oh my God, it's bad. Oh, it's so bad. It's, you know, like just to focus on those like negative things that are happening. I think that like ends up being this like excitement. It's like a dopamine, where to be in a calm state and be settled and loved and healthy and happy is like, it's not as exciting. It's not as like sexy for people, which is bonkers. But humans are that way. Humans are looking for like the roller coaster. So I think to bring awareness and bring like just, you know, the desire to get to a place of peace is even like a first step for people.
Yeah, and even if it's not permanent, it's almost impossible for it to be permanent unless you go live on the top of a mountain somewhere.
Yeah, be the Buddha.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
We're all living in that roller coaster, but for this hour or this 2 hours, you can put your mind somewhere else.
Totally.
And it helps you physically and mentally.
Oh,
right?
100%.
You go listen to a band that's just vibe, that positive sounds, good frequencies, you know. And I don't mean just sounds like coming out of, I'm not even sure some of the instruments that just, like the bowls and different things like that.
Some of those are
great.
like hertz measured. It's supposed to be for your heart chakra,
But we're actually trying to do it with music, with instruments, with regular instruments and different instruments too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not just something that's dedicated to one frequency. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you incorporated your art into the band?
Oh, yeah.
You know, like my wife did our album cover.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I wonder if you did.
It's funny
that's
because
so cool.
I think Autumn, someone said like, or even David said, why don't you ask your wife and see if she'll do it? And right away, you know what I mean? Because and I just had to kind of give the concept idea, right? Like I think I did a little sketch of because that's the way I work of how I'm thinking. But I'm like, you make it your own, and it was just a journey. It was essentially the musicians on a journey to seek truth, to seek light, and that's what that album was. Also, the underlining message under there too was like this journey we're on to connect with other people and see like what's working for you, what's not working, and how do we discover more, right? Whether we're talking about traveling around the world or traveling in the place that you're at, or on a different level, right, of energy. Mm-hmm. It's like that's how that album too kind of can be seen, is that it's evolving in the sense of what are we gaining from this, what's happening, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she did the artwork on it. I was happy that.
I think art and even like places like that where you're bringing awareness, but even actually bringing physical goods into a space, I think it's wild, because I just walk around thinking, oh great, another pharmacy. Oh wonderful, we have another doctor's office. And I think going places like that and bringing art to a community, like that's what we need. That's what everyone needs right now. We need that connectiveness. We need to come together over things that are like lighting us up, instead of coming together over these sanctioned places and things.
We're probably going a little bit off musical top, but it is kind of related, because
100%
what we try to want music to be is that release and that healing. But everything today is made for profit, or created to try to separate you from money or your time or whatever, right? And here's just a little quick simple example, and because I had this conversation the other day. What you see right outside now on everybody's lawn is these beautiful golden little dandelions.
Yay!
Which, to me personally, I think they look amazing.
I know.
They're not there forever.
Yeah.
And when you kind of look at the
tiny period of time,
the color's beautiful, and they look amazing, and I think they even smell decent too. Like they're a nice plant,
and they're amazing to eat.
But they've been
so
classified.
Healthy for you.
The industry tells you it's a weed. Now, if you know anything about dandelions, that you can actually eat the flower, you can actually eat, before it flowers, you can eat the leafy green of it. Mm-hmm. It's off the chart. It's off
the root itself. The whole thing is medicine.
Yeah,
even the whole thing.
Medicine.
Yeah. The whole, with teas and that. it's off the charts on medicinal properties, but we've been told it's a weed.
Yeah.
We've been told to poison your lawn with pesticides,
spray chemicals
to make it green. Let your kids go roll around on that now, because we've gotten rid of the dandelions out of it. So there's an example, right? Like just one, and you can pick any subject almost, and it always works out the same.
Yeah, I heard a quote recently that is so simple, but somebody said, humans are the only animal that will poison food so nobody else eats it and then eat it.
That's right. No other creature eats it.
Yeah, we're trying to avoid any other animal to eat it, and then, or any other bug, whatever, and then we eat it after. Yeah, I think
and we talk about that in our music, and some of our lyrics too, in some of our songs.
Yeah. Just what's going on, like in our society. Just
in metaphorical terms.
Yeah.
Because we don't want it. We're not a political band.
No.
We'll never choose a political side, because I think that's suicide for
exactly
artists.
We try to do the same
There's
thing.
no need.
Yeah, there's no need. It's a big paradigm out there that we're trying to figure out, and to say that it's just this is the problem, that you lost.
Exactly.
You lost.
Yeah.
It's such
this side is the good one.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and it's again, it is like individual. It's depending on you as a person. But I do think, like, I agree. I'm from the camp of, like, yes, of course, there's going to be malicious people. Yes, of course, there's going to be bad situations happening. But I think in your individual life, it helps so much, and your growth and your progression typically comes from focusing on something that you can control, and that is in a really loving and healthy way of, like, you're moving in a movement where you're trying to attract other people around you that are moving in the same way or vibrating at the same frequency, and, like, it's about your focus. If you focus on the negative, then you're gonna be negative. If you focus on the positive, you're gonna be positive.
Create your tribe.
Yeah, gather your tribe, magnet your tribe, right? Yeah. We also have a podcast called Find Your Tribe, and it was like our best episode, because I think people really are looking for those. They're looking for the solutions, and they're looking for ways to heal and connect and feel great.
Isn't
about
it
themselves.
funny that the more advanced we go in society, 2026 now, that actually the better way is to go back into smaller community units of like-minded philosophy or whatever. Better way of living, foods, all that stuff.
I was reading.
That's not mainstream.
No.
Right? Yeah.
I was reading a book. It was called, like, Across the Line or something, and it was studying. It was studying, like, army fatigues, like army gatherings, and it was wild. Like, their testimonies and their, like, reports on how they felt as, like, a supported human were off the charts. It was amazing. And they were, like, it was across the line. Like, they were in war. They were, like, fighting each other. But it was the tribal experience of, like, being in a camp of, like, I think that the number was like 100 to 120 people. And it goes back to those village experiences, right? Mm-hmm. Where we, like, shared time, energy, resources, where we were sharing, and we didn't feel this need to, like, scarcity. We didn't have this feeling of, like, oh gosh, I can't give any of my things up because I might not have enough at the end. The fact that, like, if you can get in a place where you feel like you can just share everything, you're much happier. And I think we just don't have enough people around to share with, because we're all in our little boxes, right? We're not, like, interacting with our neighbors anymore. So I think community and tribal experience, I think, it's coming back.
Never abandon your primordial instincts.
Yeah.
Because that's the essence of humanity.
Yeah.
Not this superficial world where I only like that color or that shirt or
you want to open your mind, right?
Yeah.
I keep trying to teach my you guys have kids, so I'm sure you're up against it too, but I'm up against an entire population of entirely girls, and there's about 150 of them, and I keep trying to explain to them, when you come here, you're sharing with your family, you're sharing with your community. When they go home and people are describing these, like, feelings of loneliness and depression on the screen, it's because it's the digital. Like, their brain thinks that they're having these communal experiences because they're on their phone and they're talking with each other. But I think we're really missing out on that physical contact, that human interaction, like the eye contact and the hugs and the touches and the, you can't feel each other's vibration through a phone.
That's a new society, right?
I
It's
know,
a
but
new society.
I don't think it works. I think that they're describing their experience as being really not great.
But you won't know for 10 or 20 years
I
that
think
new
it's gonna happen
generation
overnight.
with their interactivity.
I think it's
It'll
overnight.
be less, right?
They're reporting, they're scared, they're
Oh,
you know, yeah. The anxiety is, you know. Then we need to go back to those tribal experiences where like we get together and we hang out. And I think that's really cool about music too, what you guys are doing, because you bring people together. You're bringing people as the audience and as the player. You're bringing these like community experiences that
And
are
in a
amazing.
mix of people too. Like,
yeah.
that's the thing about our music too, is that it appeals to different ages.
Yeah.
Like that's actually a really difficult thing. Even when you do art, you know, like how do you appeal to everyone?
Yeah.
Like you can't. Not everyone is going to like what you're doing, and that's not
Right.
what I'm talking about. I mean, but if you can have like, you know, elderly people to children to teenagers going like, yeah, I could vibe this. This is cool. That's success.
Yeah.
And I really feel like, you know, given our audience in many situations that we've been in over the years, that's been the case. And I've always said that to
Happening.
David, like, isn't that, it's just amazing. Like my kids like my music.
Yeah.
Like they'll tell me if it sucks.
Yeah.
That's what they do best,
Yeah.
is they're just blunt and honest, and you know that's that purity that we hope to return to as adults, right? It's just where was that inside of me where I can just be honest and genuine. And
Yeah.
no, I love it. I love that we've got a type of vibe and vibration that seems to just connect with anybody and everybody, and that's the point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just fitting one group. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, settling with one buddy. It doesn't just appeal because it's too intellectual or it's too complex. We try to kind of find that balance of bringing a little complexity, you know, with instrumentation, but at the same time, something you can dance to.
Yeah, jam to.
And we got to remind ourselves of that. Of like, especially when you have shows, it's nice to have songs that people could just get up and dance to, and hopefully feel that they can.
Yeah.
Right. So we've had that back in the day when we used to do the art center. We had this little space in the back where we did a couple of intimate shows, and I loved it.
Yeah.
People would just get up and dance, and that was some of the feedback. Is if you can come more of these songs that have like this dance vibe, that would be great too. So
yeah, the
all
funk is
rhythm. It's a
the
rhythm.
funk is what makes you dance, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna try to hook you guys up with Natalina. She runs Niagara Ecstatic Dance,
I know
and I
that,
think
Lena.
yeah.
Well, she's
Yeah,
been to our
amazing.
shows.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Okay,
There you go.
great.
And I've been to Ecstatic dances.
You have? Yeah. Okay, awesome. I think you guys should play an ecstatic dance show.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Community.
Those are great. Those ecstatic dances are great.
I know, so fun. Awesome. Well, this has been awesome. Can you guys give us I know you were talking about the website. Where can we find you? Any handles that you guys have? Do you have an Instagram?
We do.
Give us the goods.
I think everything is accessible through the website. We have all that stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I was
Even
checking
out.
out your website. It was amazing. Very
Yeah.
accessible to your Spotify, to the Instagram,
Yeah,
to the
the
new
links.
album. Definitely check out the new album.
Yep,
What's
tribe369.com.
amazing.
It's
Easy.
simple as it
The
gets.
numbers 369.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, this is so great. And yeah, just let us know. I know we were talking off air, but the shows you guys have coming up. Where can we check you out?
What do we got coming up?
Yeah, we've got June 27th and August 23rd right now.
Awesome. June 27th is Camp Cataract here in the Falls. And then the August 23rd is Hamilton?
The 905 Festival in Hamilton.
the 905 Festival in Hamilton. Amazing. And yeah, hopefully if you guys are interested, we would love to get you guys more shows, right?
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
Let's play more.
Yeah, we like
guys
the
are
Niagara Falls
fantastic.
vibe,
Yeah.
and we've got new music on the way. So stay tuned because we've been
Ooh.
working hard. You know, been working hard on just bringing even better, and because as the band evolves, right, it just I don't know, it just seems to get easier, better, and more. We have a little bit of an understanding of the direction we're going in, and so like I'm excited to kind of, you know, in our upcoming shows have some of those songs on board, but we'll start releasing when those are ready, you know, one at a time this time, you know, just a little
And that's the
treats.
thing with a creative an original band. It's about creativity, so you're always creating. So after a year, so you did an album last year, but you're probably can do an album the next year.
Yeah.
It's not a cover band. You learn your 20, 30 songs, and you can play now for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
I mean, you might learn one other one. Like, there's your show, right?
Yeah.
But with a creative, like, we're going to be dropping songs and replacing them with other songs, right?
Yeah.
Because as long as we can keep creating, right?
Yeah. Well, like you said, the world is waiting.
Yeah.
And so are we.
Well, thank you for having us. We
Yeah,
really
thank you
appreciate it.
guys so much for coming. Just a reminder, guys, if you're interested, we would love for you to subscribe, follow, like us on any of the platforms. Definitely check out Tribe 369. Check out their website, and if you love the episode, definitely share this with any of your friends that are interested in music or spirituality and that would like to hear it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, and you'll never miss a podcast.
All right, good night.
I've been waiting for this night. I've been dreaming to get right. People talking all day long, tell you things that do you wrong. A lot of hurt will come your way. Never thought I'd see the day. I've been waiting for this night. I've been dreaming to get right. See a friend down the street, wave to him and then you'll see something good will come your way. I can't wait to see that day. Oh. Always waiting all your life. When you're dreaming, you dream to get it right. I am sitting and singing, yet I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. I've been waiting. I've been waiting. I'm still waiting. I've been waiting for this night. I've been dreaming to get right, but something ain't right. I've been sitting and singing, still
My husband keeps yelling at me. He's like, "Stop wooing before they're done." I can't help it. So good.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.